Alright, so I'm gonna do a video on how to make these bow and arrows. This is just it's a Christmas present for my cousin. It's pretty, there's not a lot of draw weight. And of course this is just a squishy arrow head, so it's not gonna really hurt anybody. But it still works quite well, and I'm going to show you how to make one. So let's get started. So the tools and materials you'll need are, this is a 40-inch piece of CPVC. It's kind of hard to say. It's kind of an off-white color, and they call it 1/2 inch, but it's technically, the inside diameter is 1/2 inch, the outside is 5/8. And then you'll need duct tape. I'm using 2 colors of duct tape. This is a 1/2 inch pipe insulator, so they're pretty cheap, but this is just a 4-inch piece. And then these are 5/8 inch ends for like chairs, so you don't scratch up your floor. And then string. It can really be kind of any kind of string, but this is a kind of a fine string. I don't know, it doesn't really matter what you use, but something about like that. And then scissors, hacksaw, and yeah, that's it. And a knife to cut that if you're gonna. But alright, let's get started. So now I'm gonna cut a slit on each end of this pipe for the string to go into. So just get it as centered as you can. And you don't have to go too deep. That's good. And then do the same thing to the other side. And make sure you line up the cuts so that the string isn't all twisted. So for this part, you're going to want to take your string and do a knot. You're going to make a little loop, and then just another loop and put it up through that hole. And it should look, make sure it's nice and tight. It should look something like that. And then you're going to want to put it on the end here. Put this on. Just like that. And I'm going to flip this around. And you're going to want to go all the way and measure from the end here 7 inches. And the string, you're going to want to cut the string at the 7-inch line. So make sure it's somewhat tight. Now if my string is pretty stretchy, so if you don't have a stretchy string, it might have to be, you might have to fool around with it a little bit, but I'm going to cut it right there. And you can see that it's 7 inches in or out, whatever. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to make another, it seems short, but for mine, you're going to make another loop. And then it should look something like this. You just put it together. You're basically just going to put that other loop on the other notch. Now, it looks a little bit over, but what you can do to fix that is that both the knots are not quite tight, and this is a little bit, you can kind of just stretch out the string and the knots by pushing on each end, and now it looks better. So that's about how it should look. So that's pretty good. Alright, so move on to the next step. This part's optional, but you can I'm gonna decorate it with this blue duct tape, and to get the best, the results, I would put both these caps on. This is basically so that you don't put the tape up to there, so that because you wouldn't be able to put the caps on if you had the tape covering it. So basically what you want to do, let me find it, okay. You're going to take your tape, and you can wrap it if you want, but what I like doing is taking a big long, I'm going to just mark it there, saying that that's that part. Take a big long piece, cut it. Just make sure that's lined up correctly. I'm just gonna cut it right there, right at the, so that they're basically the same size. And then I'm gonna get it snug it up right as close as I can get it. Right there. I'll do the same with this side. Now you can see it's a little bit too long, so I'm just going to trim that down. It's better to have it a little bit longer than on the short side. So now you're just going to fold it, go along the edge, and just fold it right over. And you can see that it's not fully covering it. So you're gonna do the same thing with one other piece. So I finished it. It doesn't look amazing, but it works. So the next step, you're gonna take this stuff, and this is gonna be your grip. So you're also gonna need duct tape. I'm gonna use this green. But what I found is that when you put this around here, there's a lot of space. There's not a lot of space. Actually, you know what? That's fine. So all you have to do basically is, if yours has this, I don't think they sell them in all this. If you take that off, that's really sticky, so it will stick together. And you're gonna take each one of those yellow things off, put it on there. It doesn't matter where you put it because it can still move, and just push them together and they'll kind of glue together. And now to make it, because it's so loose, to make it a little bit tighter, I'm going to take this duct tape and I'm just going to cut it in half. Okay, so once you got that ripped or cut in half, you can just start on one side and wrap it as tightly as you can get it around it, just like that. And then do the same for this side. Now normally I'd put another one right in the middle, but I think that's actually good because they're thicker pieces. So yeah, and then all I basically, that's nice and tight on there. Now all I have to do is put the string on and it's done. So I got the string on, and basically you're just gonna, and what these do are just keep it from coming off and hurting somebody. So you just press those on there just like that. Get them as far as you can. And that right there is the finished bow. So yeah, in part 2, I'll show you how to make arrows.